So, what brought you to Thailand in the first place?
I was just passing through Thailand, traveling.
And you came to see Doi Suthep.
I came to Doi Step to study meditation.
Really? How did you find out about it?
Uh,
What got you interested in What made you think I'll go and practice meditation?
I met some people who were Buddhists, and they got me interested in Buddhism.
Thai
And
people.
No, foreigners.
Oh,
and I
wow.
started reading about Buddhism, and then I met a person who said there's no reason to read about Buddhism, you have to go and practice.
And what brought you to Doi Suthep?
I was looking for a course I could do in meditation in Chiang Mai in Thailand, and Doi Suthep seemed to be the best one.
Was it like internet or?
Yeah, on the internet.
And how was that? How was it practicing at Doi Suthep?
Obviously excellent.
Yeah, I was the teacher, so
Yeah.
I don't even remember you. That's how good of a teacher I am. No, I do, but too many people, no?
Yeah, well, I was a very quiet student.
Yeah, it's the loud ones you remember. I was telling Nagasena after that, I was saying, for me, I don't feel so bad about that, because the truth of knowing your students, my teacher, when I first came and started living with him as a monk, he could never remember my name. I was quiet, and I did the practice, and I just smiled and was very keen to learn as much as I could. But he never remembered my name, and it really made me upset that, or not upset, it made me sad to know that my teacher could never remember my name. I thought, oh, he remembers other people's names. I must be meaningless. I must be unimportant. And then some problem came up, and I made a real mess of things. I started this big problem in the monastery. Well, there was a problem going on, and I aggravated it and started messing around in places that I shouldn't, because I hadn't a clue. And I caused a big uproar, and this monk I went up to Ajahn Tong, and this monk started yelling at me in front of Ajahn Tong, and so, who are you? Who are you? He started saying, because I was kind of acting a little bit arrogant, I suppose. But I was just saying I didn't want to be involved with it. I said, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I don't agree with this. Because they wanted to make me whatever, there was all politics. And from that point on, he remembered my name very well. So I felt horrible. Like, oh, this is what he remembers people for. So it's not so bad. But how is the practice at Doi Suthep? What's it like to practice your first meditation course? I mean, what should people know going into it?
Well, actually, I went there. The first course is supposed to be 21 days, but I came initially for 10 days.
Right, and I wouldn't let you leave.
No, I didn't want to leave.
Wow. Why
I asked if I could stay longer.
Wonderful. What was it that you learned in 10 days that made you want to stay on?
I think when I came there, I was quite disillusioned with the world and finding a way to to live in the world. Sorry, that would make me happy. And when I came to do the meditation practice, I don't know, after 10 days things started to make sense, and I started to feel like I was really learning something, and that I felt more, I don't know, like I was seeing the truth more in the world than what I saw before.
Wow.
So I wanted to finish the 20 days.
And you did, you finished the course.
Yeah, I finished the course.
And
but I think I said before that I left with more of an idea that I'd changed than I actually had.
Right. And so you thought you were enlightened, and you went back home to change everyone else?
I thought I knew better than everyone else,
Right.
for sure. But I think I still had a lot more defilements than I realized.
What do you think you gained out of that first experience?
One big thing I gained was the ability to see clearly not as clearly as I thought, but more clearly, my actions and my feelings. Like, the best example is I actually have a phobia of flying, and after I finished that course, I took 2 flights to get back to England from Thailand, without any drugs, which is the first time I've been
Wow.
able to do that.
Really? Before you needed to take drugs?
Yeah, before I always
What kind
took
of drugs?
A combination of some lorazepam and beta blockers to stop the adrenaline, so the
Wow.
lorazepam can work.
Beta blockers even?
Yeah.
Wow. And you were able to do it without them? That's...
Yeah.
I've seen that. I was on a plane once, and I was just... These two women sat down beside me, and I started explaining the meditation. It's the same... I mean, they didn't take drugs, but... just explaining it to them, and she said, in 35 years, I've never been able to land in a plane without being horrified, totally mortified, or like just overwhelmed by fear. And she said, I wasn't even afraid there. And she gave me a high five. You rock, she said. And so I gave her the book, and she started practicing. It's not that I rock, it's the meditation. But that's how she took it. So for sure, that those kind of things are really encouraging to see. But how do you feel now? What do you think after all this time, 4 years now? What is the change? like how has your life changed, if at all?
It definitely has changed, and I don't think I realized how much until I was talking to someone a few weeks ago, and they asked me to tell them my 10 biggest regrets. And I said, I don't have any regrets. Why would I regret anything? I said, things happen in the past and you have to live with them. And if I regret it now, it would just make me suffer more. And they said, people don't think like that. And I said, surely everyone thinks like that. But I didn't realize that actually some things I learned from meditation, I wasn't even aware, like consciously, that I learned them from meditation, until I talked to other people and realized that other people don't think like that, and other people do make themselves suffer and cling to things and cling to past wrongs and cling to anger and make themselves suffer a lot more than they need to.
I think that's an important... That's really a good point, and it's quite pertinent, quite the case. You start to forget that you used to be, so confused and deluded in these sorts of ways. You used to have regrets and think that you should cling to things and so on, and so you actually get shocked in ways that you didn't get shocked before. People actually do that kind of thing, and like, oh yeah, I used to do that kind of thing. You become, in a way, a little bit more sensitive. Okay, well that's wonderful. I think that's more than what I was looking for, and I want to thank you for taking the, humoring me in this, and letting everyone see your smiling face, and I think everyone can clearly see that you have indeed, that you what you've said is, I think, a real great encouragement to other people out there, and they can see that. From your words and from your sincerity, that obviously there is something to be had from meditation practice. So thank you for your gift to all of us tonight.
You're welcome.
Can we get a picture of her in that one?
I do.
You're good at that. When I got asked that, I was like, I don't know.
Let her say hello to this camera.
Another one. Hello.
Can you repeat what you said?
From beginning. No, we recorded it. That's fine. That's Kathy. She's an old student from Doi Suthep.
And Jomtong.
And Jomtong and Wat Sanku and Sri Lanka.